Hans Wormhat. In this video, I want to talk about how news, so when people think of news, they think of current events, things that are happening in the world. Real news is never what you're going to see in the media. The media is just a giant propaganda machine, and the New World Order is already here. There is no such thing as real opposition, there's no such thing as a real country out there anymore. They're all just puppets of the NWO following their script. There's no such thing as a real news agency out there anymore. They're just playing both sides. Team Red, Team Blue, working for Team Purple. And you don't get published if what you're saying goes against the narrative. And we've seen this over and over again on YouTube. If they try to claim that you're allowed to have your opinion and make videos of your opinion, but if your opinion falls under wrongthink, they'll just claim hate speech. That's their catch-all umbrella term these days. Oh, hate speech. They can just say that about anything. Oh, that triggers me. Therefore, it's hate speech. Anyways, this video is about news and how newspapers, whatever, radio, news, all of these things are all connected, obviously, and all controlled. And it's nothing but Masonic propaganda and lies. Real news is stuff that you hear in real life. When you're standing in line at the grocery store and you hear people awkwardly talking about how fast time is going. That's real news. When you look around at your friend group and you realize how many of these 20, 30-year-olds have autoimmune disorders, people having so many children with autoimmune disorders, that's real news. When you turn on the TV, that's a bunch of BS. When you observe real life for yourself, that's news. That's what's happening. That's what's going on in the world. That's reality. And you know how people always, they can tell what reality is. Things like, wow, there's a lot of autistic people these days. That's reality, and that's news. But then what they do is they go search for some authority figure. Well, what's the authority figure have to say? Oh no, don't worry, it's nothing. Nothing's going on. And you just have to break free from that. The truth is out there, and the media is not going to be giving you the truth. And thankfully these days we have the internet. They can't hide. If you have the will to go seek out the truth, you'll find it. And I personally didn't start finding any of these truths until Jesus Christ woke me up, until I started following Jesus. And when you read the Bible, you'll see that Jesus is the truth. So there's that amazing connection there. Anyways, so I have this background thing. Vertigo. Have you guys been hearing more about vertigo? My wife actually suffers from vertigo recently, just over these past few years, and people in her family having vertigo, and it's just something that I hear about a lot more. And so to me this is like a really good idea of what's real news. Have you guys been hearing more and more people suffering from vertigo? Maybe it has something to do with time speeding up, because the time speeding up is going so fast now. You can feel it, and I wonder if it's connected to vertigo, or maybe, this is not something that I research a lot, but they've always been talking a lot about the magnetic field of Earth and maybe flipping and stuff. I don't know if there's real life people out there measuring that stuff, but that could be causing people to have vertigo. Maybe it has something to do with all the weather manipulation going on. Because another thing that I think is real life news, this is within the last week, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about migraines and it being connected to the weather changes. And so that could just be it's almost summer solstice. Personally, I've been seeing way more weather manipulation recently, just totally obvious, completely changing the weather patterns. And so maybe that's connected to the migraine stuff. But in my mind, this is real life. This is news. Just statements like this. I've been hearing a lot of people, I've been reading a lot of comments about migraines. What about you guys? I wonder what's going on here. Let's try to figure this out together. Not turning on the TV and hearing the talking heads blab about the theater. That's theater when you turn on the TV. And it's obvious when you wake up. Everything on the TV is fake. It's all theater. It's the world stage. What do you think? It's an entertainment box. You're watching a bunch of people on camera. It's theater. Even what they tell you is reality TV. do a little bit of research, you'll figure out that it's all staged events. They'll write narratives about how... I just read a comment about this on Reddit the other day about people that were a part of these nanny shows, and somebody commented, oh yeah, my cousin was on this, and I went and we did recording for a few hours, and then when I watched the program later, they said that I visited for the weekend. That's what they do. That's what TV is. They take footage and then they write whatever narrative they want. You've heard about people that have been on reality shows where they say, oh my gosh, the editing. They use the editing to make you look like such an evil psycho, even if you weren't that bad. Everything on the TV is fake. They mock with calling it reality TV, but everybody knows that it's fake if you do any research. Okay, back to this migraine thing. Have you guys heard? This is real news. TV is fake. Turn off your TV. Stop looking at the TV. Stop making any invested anything in the TV. This hoax that we have going on right now. Does anybody in real life? I don't know anybody talking about real life situations with this hoax. However, in this past week, I've read many comments and real life examples of people who have been getting migraines. To me, that's news. This is real life news. What's going on? I personally think it's probably from the weather manipulation. But again, this vertigo thing. I'm interested in what you guys have to say about vertigo. Have you been hearing a lot more people talk about this or suffering from this, or have you yourself been getting vertigo? I just think it's funny on Star Trek. It's like a meme on Star Trek where people get a headache and it's a huge deal. I don't know how this fits into this video exactly, but I mean, I guess the migraine thing. I just want to show that doctors aren't that smart. How come they haven't cured headaches? How come... If you ever known people who get migraines, it's like a huge medical mystery. People have no idea about migraines, and they'll put you on all sorts of different things. A lot of times they end up putting people on antidepressants for their migraines, which is kind of strange. I've heard of people's migraines being cured by psilocybin, psychedelic mushrooms. That's kind of a strange off topic, but it does seem like the medical community likes to hide natural remedies to things. And yeah, this is just a funny topic. In Star Trek, headaches are just this huge deal because apparently in the future they had been cured. And just notice how today there's no cure for the common cold. There's no cure for headaches. They don't really know exactly what's going on all the time, and I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Autoimmune disorders, this is real news. Real news is the fact that, why do I know a dozen people with Crohn's disease? Why is that a thing? And the obvious conclusion from that you're not going to hear in the media is maybe all of this trying to mess around with children's immune systems, maybe that's causing it. Maybe all of these vaccines that we're giving people that excite their immune system, maybe it's causing people's immune systems to overreact and cause these conditions. It's really low level thought processes that bring you to these conclusions. It's just, people don't want to go there. People have been conditioned to not think for themselves at all. And even worse than that, if people start to think thoughts that go against the narrative, people feel like the police are going to come out to get them. This is where 1984 came from, the thought police. The thought police already existed. It's not like an actual helicopter that's going to come get you. The thought police is that fear that they train you to have when you're thinking thoughts that go against the narrative. That's the thought police. You're your own thought police most of the time. I mean, of course, there are shills that will come out of the woodwork and try to shame you. That's like the Agent Smith thought police. The TV is Satan's altar. The TV set or satanic family altar. I just have this memory that I'll never get over of when I grew up. I had a friend who claimed to be Muslim, and I don't believe in that. It's just a fake religion. It's a fake cover for the same thing as Jews, who are really the synagogue of Satan. Because the Kaaba and Allah, right? Kabbalah, and I think it's the Jews, the synagogue of Satan, playing both sides. playing both sides is a huge MO. So who are the alleged biggest enemies of the Jews? You would say, well, I guess like the Muslims. They have that huge Middle Eastern conflict stuff. I think they're just playing both sides. And yeah, I have this one memory of this Muslim family, to get to the point, and I was good friends with this girl who, of course, now I know is not a girl. They would bring up stuff about, oh, my shoulders are big because I'm water polo, and I'm over there like, I didn't ask you why your shoulders were so big. How many of these moments do you guys have where people in your life, they come up and they say some weird statement like that? I have people in my life, oh, I got my chin scar because of this. And I'm like, I never asked you about your chin scar. I didn't even see your chin scar. Again, so this person was like that with their shoulders. Oh, my shoulders are really big because I'm in water polo. I never asked you why your shoulders were big. Why are you saying this to me? Now I know. But anyways, I go over to this person's house, and on top of their TV, they have a TV set in their living room. Even look at that, it's very interesting. TV set. Set is an Egyptian god, lowercase g god. So on their TV set, they had a piece of paper that was taped to it, and drawn with a blue pen, like a ballpoint pen, was a Jew star. The up triangle, down triangle. It's obviously not the Star of David. That's just what they say. But I don't know, in the Bible, I think it's called the Star of Rephaim or something like that. It's a satanic sigil. I don't know. We're not supposed to mess around with that stuff. If that stuff was important, Jesus would be telling us about that stuff. But I mean, of course, I think all of us have had discernment. We know, people with discernment know that life is not about drawing the right symbol or doing the right sacrifices, and that stuff feels weird to us and satanic. And throwing gang signs, throwing hand signs, that stuff has always felt off to me. Same thing with the Star of David. I don't care what historical thing you want to tell me about this, or the cross. I do not support drawing weird signs and symbols and worshiping them and putting them on places. That's just rubs me the wrong way, always has. But there you go. What's up with that? Why does this Muslim family have a TV set in their living room, and then they have a Star of David on top of the TV set? And I asked him about it. I'm like, okay, what's up with that thing on top of your TV? And this, Swire girl tells me, oh, my dad put it there because it keeps the evil away. And I don't know, that always stuck with me. Such a strange experience. And all the pieces fit together now that I know about this stuff, all the invert stuff, all the Satanism. I don't know if it could be like an evil eye thing. You know how the evil eye, it's this weird backwards logic. I'm going to wear an evil eye because it reflects the evil eye. That's kind of what that, putting the Jew star on top of the TV, to me it was like they're trying to reflect back the evil because they know that there's evil coming at it, so they're trying to like reflect it back or something. Just an odd experience. The American people don't believe anything until they see it on television. Belief. The power of belief. Think of any Christmas movie that you've ever known. How does the whole Christmas movie genre go? Santa has no power until these people start to believe in him, and then Santa really gets the power. It's telling you about belief and magic. Magic has power through belief. They're mocking you with this money. So how does money have power? Because people believe in it. What is it? It's stuff printed on a piece of paper. Why does that have value? Because people believe in it. And they've constructed this whole deception system. Why does their system work? Because people believe in it. If everybody turned off their TV, if everybody stopped believing in that nonsense, the kryptonite to Babylon is to just ignore it. They're like children playing in the marketplace trying to get your attention. The thing that just sets them off the most is ignoring them. Ignoring their reality, their false reality, turning it off, and having real experiences is the kryptonite to Babylon. You're of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. There's no truth in Babylon. It's still, people have still not got over the fact that Nat Geo is fake. Why do you think Nat Geo is not fake? because I don't know. I don't understand the logic there. Everything's fake. Everything on the TV is fake. So it's an umbrella. It's not a rabbit hole. It's not a rabbit hole. It's an umbrella. It covers everything, and especially anything in the media. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Satan is the father of all lies. And the TV set, where do you think this stuff came from? Technology. It's fallen angel tech. And it's like the internet is like the disclosure. Maybe because Satan knew that time is up, so it's like a disclosure thing. Gave us the most powerful tool to find out the truth. And look how many people are still asleep. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. It's a mystery. You have to figure it out. If you're not trying to solve it, you're not going to solve a mystery if you're not trying to solve it, right? And that's why you won't wake up to Babylon if you don't start paying attention. And all you have to do is start paying attention. You'll start seeing orange 33. You'll start seeing the inversion. Black is white, up is down, bitter is sweet. And the truth is in the Bible, in Jesus Christ. If you start following Jesus, you will start seeing way more truth. And yeah, it's not going to bring you happiness, but it's going to set you free. Having eyes, see ye not, and having ears, hear ye not, and do ye not remember? So I'll just end with this. I don't think I'm going to read all the scripture, but there's a lot of scripture talking about this idea of having eyes but not seeing, having ears but not hearing. How much of your life did you live like this, where they were making the invert jokes, where they were flashing the gang signs, but you didn't see it? So this was my life before Jesus. I had eyes, but I didn't see. I had ears, but I didn't hear. And there were whispers. I have faint memories of being able to see this inversion, and I think it has something to do with the becoming like children again, and I don't know, humility. The fact that I used to be able to see this stuff and I just stopped paying attention to it. I stopped listening to my instinct and I chose the ways of the world anyways. I mean, there's a lesson there to be learned. And because I know that I did used to be able to see some of this stuff, and I did be able to hear some of this stuff, and I think back on those times, it was when I was really little, and I don't know, I did have that innocence. I remember talking to God, even though I didn't follow any religion or anything like that. My family was totally agnostic, but I do have memories of being little, and I thought I was in outer space land and stuff, but I still would talk to God sometimes, and I think I could see back then, and I just eventually, you just get lost, you get swept away. So this happens in the Bible all the time. From Isaiah chapter 44 verse 18, they have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. Son of man, this is Ezekiel chapter 12 verse 2, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not, they have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. Yeah, denial, suspension of disbelief. People really do live in a fantasy land. And seeing is believing. They get you to see fantasy, see things that are not there. I think often of how the mind can so easily play tricks on people, and perception, or the way that expectations, there's the word, expectations influence reality. They really get you to see things that are not there because they just get you to expect to see it. I think of the fursuits. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And yeah, it's like we were asleep and we got woken up.